Welcome, everyone. Today, we are focusing on something that I know keeps a ton of small business owners up at night: the phone.
Specifically the calls you don't answer. We're going to show you, especially if you're not a tech person, how voice AI can solve this problem, this missed call crisis.
A crisis is the right word for it because the cost is so immediate. That 1 p.m. lunch rush, or right after everyone leaves at 5 p.m., the phone rings.
And that's not just a missed call, that's a customer and their money walking right over to your competitor who actually picked up.
The numbers are pretty shocking, aren't they?
They really are. The data shows that small businesses can miss up to, 40% of their incoming calls just because they're busy or short-staffed.
40%. And what does that look like in, actual dollars and cents?
Well, on average, a business is losing around $126,000 a year
Wow.
just from unanswered calls, just from those lost leads. I mean, think about that number. That's not just some line item on a spreadsheet. That's a huge drag on your business.
It's a massive opportunity cost. So that's what we're here to talk about. We're going to break down 7 specific uh, automated workflows you can set up.
Right. Tasks that these AI assistants can run for you 24/7, turning that massive annual loss into actual revenue, and you don't have to hire a single new person.
But first, I think we need to be really clear about what this technology isn't, because we've all had those terrible experiences with old phone systems.
Oh, absolutely. This is not that old, rigid, press 1 for billing, press 2 for sales system that just makes you want to throw your phone at the wall.
Yeah, where you're just yelling agent into the phone over and over again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is completely different. It's a next-generation, context-aware system. It understands nuance. It can handle real conversations.
Yeah.
It speaks like a person. It's really gone from being a cool experiment to a strategic must-have.
Okay, context-aware powerhouse. Let's unpack that. For someone who doesn't code, how does it actually work? How does it sound human without those awful, awkward pauses?
It seems complicated, but it really boils down to 4 simple steps that happen almost instantly, like a high-speed loop.
Okay, lay it out for us. Step 1.
Step 1 is hearing, or what the tech world calls automatic speech recognition. The moment a customer speaks, the AI converts their voice into text. And the new systems are incredible at this. They can filter out background noise, a barking dog, whatever, and they still get it right.
So it's basically creating a transcript for itself in real time.
In real time. And then step 2 is understanding intent. This is natural language understanding, or NLU. This is the magic part. The AI isn't just looking for keywords.
Right.
It's understanding the motivation. If someone says, my basement is filling up with water, it doesn't just hear basement and water. It understands urgency, emergency, a specific service request. It gets the context.
That feels like the biggest difference. It doesn't need me to say the perfect magic word. It gets what I need.
Precisely. And that understanding leads to step 3, dialogue management. This is the brain, usually a large language model, or LLM. It takes that intent and decides the best response based on your business rules.
So it can check things, like my calendar or my inventory.
Exactly. It checks your calendar, sees you have an emergency slot open, and decides to offer that to the caller. It's dynamic. It's not just following a rigid script.
Okay, so it thinks, and then it has to speak.
And that's the last step. Step 4, speaking, or text-to-speech. It converts its text response back into a really realistic-sounding voice, not that old robotic monotone. It has tone, pacing. It sounds natural.
And the whole thing holding this together is speed, right? Latency. If there's a big delay, the illusion is shattered.
Speed is everything. It's not just a tech spec. It's a customer experience metric. For a conversation to feel natural, that whole loop hearing, understanding, thinking, speaking has to happen in under, say, 800 milliseconds.
So less than a second.
Ideally, you're aiming for 500 milliseconds. Half a second. Once you get over a full second, 1,200 milliseconds, it just feels clunky. You know there's a delay, and you lose trust.
Okay, this is where it gets really practical for anyone listening. Let's move from the how to the what. What are the 7 ways these agents can just run in the background and make you money?
Yeah, this is the playbook. And workflow number 1 is the foundation for everything else. 24/7 call coverage and missed call recovery.
Simple. It just answers every single call.
Every single call, period. Doesn't matter if it's 2 p.m. and you're swamped or 2 a.m. and you're closed. A lead comes in, it gets captured. That's the goal. 100% coverage.
Which is so critical for, like, a law firm, right?
Yeah.
Where one missed call could be a massive case.
Exactly. That high-value client often calls after their own workday, after 5 p.m. If you miss that call, they're just dialing the next lawyer on the list. The AI makes sure you get that first contact.
Okay, so it answers the call. What's next?
Workflow 2. Lead intake and qualification. The AI acts like your perfect receptionist. It gets the name, number, email, all the basics, but then it asks your qualifying questions.
So for my business, I could have it ask about their budget or how soon they need the project done.
You got it. It filters for you. It separates the hot leads from the tire kickers. The qualified leads get routed straight to your team for a callback. The others might get an automated email. It means your people are only spending their time on calls that can actually turn into business.
A huge time saver. Okay, so now the lead is qualified. We need to get them on the books.
Which brings us to workflow 3, automated appointment scheduling. This is a game changer. The AI connects directly to your calendar, Google, Outlook, whatever you use.
So I can see my open slots in real time.
In real time, it offers the caller available times. They pick one, and the AI books it, sends the confirmation, and updates your calendar. All on that first call. No human needed.
I heard about that GI group in the Northeast that used this. They had a huge backlog of calls, right?
A massive backlog. It was taking them weeks just to schedule appointments manually. They set up an AI for scheduling, and within a few weeks, the backlog was gone. That's just pure revenue acceleration.
Okay, so that handles the front end. But what about the back end? The problem that every service business hates. The no-show.
That's workflow 4, no-show reduction. This is where the AI does proactive outbound work. It will automatically call or text clients a day or two before their appointment to remind them.
And that actually works.
It works incredibly well. The data shows that automated reminders like these can cut your no-show rate by about 30% or even more. That's 30% more revenue you keep that would have just been an empty time slot.
Fantastic. So what about the calls that just clog up the phone lines, the repetitive stuff?
That's workflow 5, and it's a staff favorite, handling routine FAQs. Think about all the time your team spends answering the same questions. What are your hours? Where are you located? What's your refund policy?
Oh, yeah. Or can I get the status of my order?
Exactly. The AI can answer all of that instantly. It frees up your human staff to deal with the complex problems, the things that actually require a human touch and critical thinking.
It's about shifting your team to higher value work.
100%. And speaking of proactive work, that leads to workflow 6, outbound re-engagement campaigns. The AI can call your existing customers who are overdue for a service.
Like a dentist reminding you it's time for a cleaning.
Perfect example. Or a sauce company reminding you your subscription is about to renew. You're just gently nudging customers who already know and trust you. These campaigns can boost scheduled appointments by 20% or more just by mining your existing customer base.
That's smart. Okay, last one. The part everyone dreads, the admin work after the call.
The data entry. Yes, Workflow 7 is instant admin tasks and data sync. The second the call ends, the AI automatically summarizes it, logs the outcome like appointment book, and updates your CRM.
So no more manually typing notes into HubSpot or Salesforce.
None. It's all done instantly and accurately. It eliminates hours of admin work and keeps your records perfectly up to date.
Okay, we've laid out the problem, the tech, and the 7 solutions. But I can hear the small business owner listening right now thinking, this sounds amazing, but also expensive and complicated. I don't have an IT department.
And that's the thing. You don't need one anymore. You can get started way faster and with less risk than you think, mainly because of no-code platforms.
What does that mean exactly?
It means that the leading companies in this space, like Lindy or Synthflow, VoiceFlow, they have these visual drag-and-drop builders. You're not writing code. You're designing a conversation on your screen with pre-built templates.
So the biggest barrier needing a developer is basically gone.
It is, but you have to remember, integration is key. The whole system is worthless if it can't talk to your other tools. So when you choose a platform, you have to make sure it has solid connections to your CRM, your calendar, whatever you're already using. That data has to flow in real time.
Okay, let's talk about the bottom line. The business case. If I'm losing that $126,000 to missed calls, what does it cost to fix it with AI versus just hiring another person?
It's a pretty stark comparison. A traditional receptionist is going to cost you somewhere between $50,000 and $70,000 a year once you factor in salary, benefits, all the overhead.
And they only work 9 to 5. And they take lunch breaks.
Right. Now compare that to a voice AI agent. Your total first-year cost is probably going to be somewhere between, say, $6,000 and $23,000, depending on your call volume.
That's a massive business.
That's a huge saving on labor. Plus, you get 247 coverage and perfect data logging. The return on that investment is incredibly fast. Businesses are seeing, on average, an 8 times return on what they spend within the first 90 days.
8 times in 3 months.
Because you're cutting costs and adding revenue at the same time, you're capturing leads you were previously throwing away. The business case is it's undeniable at this point.
It really feels like this isn't a future trend anymore. It's happening right now, and it's changing how small businesses have to operate to compete.
It is. And the goal, really, isn't to replace your people. The goal is to let the AI handle that repetitive 80% of calls, the scheduling, the FAQs, so you can free up your amazing human team to do the creative, high-value work that actually grows the business.
So if there's one final thought for someone listening, what should they be thinking about as we wrap up?
I think it's that the window of competitive advantage is closing, and it's closing fast. The companies that are setting the systems up now are actively taking market share from their slower competitors. So the question really isn't if voice AI is coming to your industry. It is. The only question is whether you're going to be leading that change or struggling to catch up in a year.
So what's the first step?
Just think about one high-volume, simple task in your business. Maybe it's just scheduling or answering your top 5 most common questions. Automate that one thing first, and you'll immediately see the power and gain that early edge.